scoring every show I saw on the MSC Seascape. First was Love Blooms. They're trying to tell the story about two people who meet in like a mysterious garden. They wind up getting separated and then coming back together. Honestly, I thought the best thing about this was the acrobatics, so I'm going to give this one probably a 5 out of 10. Premiere was probably my favorite of all of the shows, but I really liked that they had an actor that broke the fourth wall and interacted with the audience between each scene. What was really cool is each one was a different genre of film, and so they did things like Rocky, James Bond, The Ghostbusters, and The Greatest Showman. For a cruise show, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. They did a great job. Comedy Night with Frances DiLorenzo was honestly top tier. She had an adults only and an 18+ late night show, 10 out of 10. In Concert was basically a bunch of performances of the biggest songs throughout the past few decades. I didn't really feel like an actual story, and it was more just music, so it wasn't really one of my favorites. I would probably give this one a 6 out of 10. Dreamscape seems to follow the story of a girl who was reading a book and then starts to dream about its story. The plot overall was a little difficult to follow, but basically she's awake, she falls asleep, that's almost the whole show, and then she wakes up. I still think the best thing about this was probably acrobatics again, so I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. At the end of the last show for the entire cruise, they wound up bringing out a bunch of the different crew as well as the captain who gave a speech. I thought this was a really fun, nice little touch. Overall, I think MSC did a decent job at the shows. I do think that they could have a little bit more creativity. Comedy was top notch, but of course that always depends on who the comedian is. I also think they relied a little bit too much on the acrobatics to actually carry the story instead of the music and everything else itself, but I would probably overall give this a 7 out of 10 for effort.